everyone. Today is November 30th. I hope everyone has had a wonderful holiday. I'm back home. A lot has happened since I last talked to you in August, I believe it was. I was planning on going down towards the end of September and till the first couple of weeks of October to get all my doctoring stuff done. And my husband was doing his chemo. He was going into chemo. And I went down there. I think it was the week I went down there was the week he had already done chemo like 3 days. He had just started his chemo. And I went to all my doctor's appointment. He went to his chemo. Everything was going on just fine. And about the third week in October, which was a Monday, he was going to his chemo appointment on Monday. He was on his 6th week of chemo already by that time. 5 weeks, I think it was. Excuse me. Of his chemo. I got up early. I was headed back home here to North Carolina. He went on to his chemo appointment. And I get a phone call about 3 hours away from home. I get a phone call saying that he collapsed in the parking lot after his chemo appointment, and they rushed him to the hospital. They think he's had a stroke. He's on a ventilator, so 4.5 hours back home. Oh my God, that was a day. And he was on a ventilator for about a week. He ended up having a surgery to remove 2 big blood clots on his right artery. That's what he was on the ventilator because of the having the stroke, removing the blood clot to keep him calm, let his body rest. It wasn't because he couldn't breathe or anything like that. It was for his own self so his body would relax. And it's funny because they were giving him all the highest dose of fentanyl and that other one starts with a P, whatever it is. And they said, we can't give him anymore. And he's still, you can see he was still kind of, but I said, that's my husband. He's hyper and he's ADA. And they're like, okay, well, that's explain it, because people that are like that have a harder time with these medicines. So, but he did good. And they also found that, I don't know if it's from when he fell. They seem to think it wasn't when he fell. It was he had maybe he fallen somewhere back before he started chemo. You know how sometimes you fall, you hit your head, and you're like, oh, I'm okay, and you move on. Something like, we tried to ask him but he was very confused when we weren't sure if his brain was going to function back or not, because he would say a lot of off-the-wall things, and it was pretty worrisome, and they weren't sure either. They were like, you just have to let him heal and let the time take and to see where it's all at, because his body's been through a trauma. So he couldn't move his left side at all at that point. And they finally, oh God, he fell. He thought he was going to leave a few times and got up and fell. And the first time he fell, he went down on his left side that was already injured. And his arm swelled up. They did x-rays, make sure he didn't break it, because he thought he was, And then he did it again, but this time he didn't fall that bad. He just kind of slithered to the ground. And then they had to hire a sitter for him. We laugh at him. I said, oh boy. And then as soon as they got as soon as the room was empty across from the nurse's station, they put him in there. Yeah. I said, boy, you're a troublemaker. But that sounds just like him. That's because he thinks he could walk. He'd call up his mom. It was funny. None of this is funny, but it was, well, I guess so. You got to kind of laugh at it. He remembers his mom's phone number, his home phone. Okay. We don't remember people's cell numbers, and my daughter wrote it on her cell number on the board for him. Well, he called his, and he knows our house number that we had forever, which is the business number, and he would, and what it goes forward to my secretary, who now the office part is in her house, so she can be home with the kids because all this Corona coopoo boop, and so he would call 1, 2 in the morning, be ringing and saying, "Is Sandy there? Tell Sandy to come get me. They're gonna let me go." Blah blah blah. It's like no, he'd call up his mom 2 in the morning and says, "They got me held hostage in the backyard." I mean, it's not funny this because his brain. I mean, he was really believing this stuff, and he'd call me and say, "Come get me at I'm going home Thursday." I said, "Oh, okay." I knew good and darn well he wasn't. But I was things like that. He wanted to go home. He wanted to go home. And when he did finally get home, it was, I said he felt like he's been away forever. But every day he got more and more with it. He did get better. He knows what's going on with the jobs. He knows what's going on around him. He gets a little confused sometimes. What did they say? He has an attention deficit, which he had before. And whenever you have anything like that, it's always worse when you have a head trauma or something. And being the stroke on the left side, that's his cognitive side. So he gets a little, he has to be watched. Which he's never home alone, but for instance, they were going to a job site and they had a big ladder out the back. So the guy who was driving the truck was making a turn and going really slow. Well, in the meantime, before that got to that slow part, my husband dropped his phone and it went under the seat. And the guy saying, "Well, we'll stop here in a minute and we'll get your phone." Well, when he slowed down, his brain is going, "Oh, we stopped. I'll get my phone." He started jumping out of the car. He's like, "No, I'm slowing down because I got this ladder behind me and we're making a turn, So things like that. And that's an attention deficit. Like when he first started walking and where he's dragging his foot a little bit, he had to learn to pick it up, which that's perfect now. He would get up and start to take off. Because he's like, that's part of it. They just get up and go. Instead of thinking, okay, I can't move my, So you have to kind of always remind him and stuff and, keep his arm up. He's not crazy about the sling and, that's why your shoulder's hurting. And, it's just things you have to deal with. But he's very lucky. He's very, 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 very lucky. Because what he had could have much killed him, especially if he wasn't where he was. What if he was driving down the road and he got in an accident? They wouldn't know he was having a stroke. God forbid if he hurt himself or somebody else. I mean, he can't drive. He cannot drive. But that's no issue. We have people that can drive him around. He's fine. That's all taken care of. But yeah, so I'm just kind of playing it there. I know that things have to change at home. I know that with this on him now, yes, the business is still going and it's going to be all right, but it's not going to last forever like nothing does. And we are getting closer to retirement age. So I'm going to see how things are going, give it, another year, 6 months to a year, and then reevaluate it again. And if they're all keeping up with it and they're doing it and I have no problem, keep doing it. If not, we either try to sell the business or close it down, sell the house, which my house is pretty much my retirement money, and because I'm going to buy a house soon. Well, my mother went and I had to do something with my mother. I know it just sounds funny, but gotta do something with my mother. But my mom lives there, and that's all going to change soon, because we do need to get the house for sale, And I don't mean like right now. There's no hurry. It's not for financial reasons. It's because we're downsizing, and it's coming. Okay, I'm going to be 58 this year. He's going to be 59 this year, or the year coming in 2021. So, we're getting older, and we need to start planning that for now. So my mom went and see if she could apply for a loan, and she did get a loan for a house. So this way, nothing down there has to be in with where my home's going to be, because of all this stuff with him and my daughter still being there. It's just not time yet, and I really don't want to go and get a loan because I'm not ready to do that with in my name. You know what I'm saying? And not that, I mean, my mom's going to buy a house and I'm paying the bills there. It's not about the money. It's about having things, your assets. It has a lot to do with a lot of other things. I don't really want to get into it, and it's boring, but that's how I have to work it out for me. And this way, nothing there is touched. So if anything happens here to where we got to get rid of the business fast and sell the house fast, I've already got my mom somewhere, got me somewhere. Then all I got to do is worry about my daughter. And if I have to, I'll pay for a rent down there for her to finish school. These are all scenarios that I've already thought about, and that's just the way I am. Anything can change at any moment, and I feel more prepared that way. I'm like, okay, we're not going in this direction, we're going in this direction now. So that's how I'm doing that. So I really don't want to be even looking for a house till after holidays. The only bad thing about my mom doing the loan thing is that they're going to bug you. I mean, they're already bugging us before Thanksgiving. And I said, look, I got to deal with Thanksgiving. I'm in Florida right now. I live in North Carolina. Excuse me. Don't rush me. And then after all that other bullshit I've been going through for the last 2.5 months, I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing anything till after the first of the year. And then if they have a bad snowstorm, bad snow up there won't be until the spring. So it's, I can only do what I can do. So that's where all of that's at. And then once I do settle everything in Florida, I'm going to pay off my house in Virginia. It'll be in my mom's name till then, and then she'll just gift it to me, or I won't have to refinance. Well, yes, I'll have to refinance. What I'll do is pay it off, and then she'll gift it to me, and then it'll be paid off, be in my name. We're going to get a will made before that, too, so that I can always refinance it and put it in my name. I mean, we've thought of pretty much everything. So if you have anything that I might not have thought of, please feel free to let me know, because I love all the advice I can get, because it's crazy out there, especially now with the coronavirus. My mom had me this close to buying a house online. She goes, well, they inspect it anyway. And I said, yeah, but you're not. And she says, yeah, because we saw this perfect house. Perfect house. The only bad thing about it was it had people on each side and behind them, but it was all privacy fenced in. It had extra rooms in the base. I mean, it was nice, but I didn't like the people around me. It was just too close. And if it had been out on its own, I would have gone ahead and done it. And I was like, no. She's like, do it. I'm like, no. I'm so glad I didn't. But it was a nice house. I wish that house had been somewhere else in our price range and everything. So, but it's out there. I know my house is out there, and it may not even be on the market right yet. So I'm not rushing. I already told the angels, just lead me to where I need to be. I'm not going to go crazy, overthink stuff. I am planning on, there's areas that I've been looking at, and they've already had 2 realtors in touch with me through the mortgage company. And so, they're just going to have to be patient. That's all. I don't think loans expire, do they? That's a good question. If they do, they never said. But I am very content to be here. I'm happy to be home. I'm so happy to be home. I miss my little ones. My little ones meaning my daughter and my granddaughter. My daughter will always be my baby. And I do miss them, but I do like the peace and quiet. I really do. So that's pretty what's going on now. I know a lot of people have been wondering where I've been. I am going to buy a house. I'm still going to do some traveling. It's just that everything is slowed down because of the corona, just like with everybody else. I hope everybody else is doing fine. I know there's people out there that have family members that are going through some medical things, and I hope everything is working out fine for everybody. I say my prayers every night to everybody. Yeah, so I really do hope that everybody's doing fine. I hope everybody has a great Christmas. I am going back for Christmas, but I'm only going for a few days. I have to get my mammogram. Is the only thing that I couldn't get because I canceled. What the heck happened? I can't remember what the heck happened that I didn't go. Something happened and I don't remember. But anyway, I had to cancel it. And I'm going to call them as soon as I get done with this and make it for December so that I can do that while I'm down there. Because I only want to stay for like less than a week. You know, Christmas is on a Friday. If I can get the mammogram on Wednesday or Thursday, I will leave on Sunday. So, and the colon, so we're just I'm going to do that and then I'm coming home. And I'm going to stay and see how the weather is and whether I go and look at houses or I wait and see what happens. And I don't mind driving if there's snow on the ground because the main roads are all going to be clear. And I really don't think there's going to be a snow blizzard. But you never know, right? Not where I'm at anyway. Everybody's getting snow above me within the week here. I think tomorrow or later on today, up where my brother lives in Virginia, I think when the evening starts to come, they may get some snow flurries. They did say Saturday, when I look at the weather 10-day forecast, Saturday they said some snow for here. But I guarantee you by the time Saturday comes, it won't be there anymore. Because you check it every day and it's different, the weather. Because the weather changes different. That's just the way it is. But that's all I got to say right now. I don't want to keep this video long. I am just doing my thing. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the month. I'm not going to worry about nothing. No, nobody else worry about anything. And, oh, and I also wanted to say that I will be bringing you all on my looking for a house. I'll bring you on that and bring you to the houses and let you see them with me if I can do that. You know, I don't know how all this is going to go because of the corona. I don't know how. I don't know. And we're in the point where they're saying it could spike up. They might close everything down. So everything's just hanging in the air. So I don't really make any plans yet. I'd rather wait until the corona is over with. But God only knows when that'll be. But because they're saying that we may end up getting a spike, you know, they may tell everybody closing stuff down again. So I don't know. So we just have to wait and see. But anyway, I'm going to go. I will talk to you all later. You all have a great day. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.